Welcome back for another episode, Spirit Bus 33 fam. Jyotishamara here, once again. So excited to take a little trip with you, expanding our consciousness, learning how to become our favorite versions of ourselves, living more in the now, all while embarking on this wild, wondrous earth experience. Join me each week-ish as we evolve together, exploring holistic, Toltec, interdimensional, Eastern, Western, spiritual-minded thinking and practices.
We're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Thank you for sharing some of your space with me, for having this human experience same time as me. Before we take this little trip, check in, fam. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you at a good temperature? Do you need socks, a blanket, water? Daily, well, really multiple times a day, body scans are so important. Checking in, making sure you're not disconnected from your needs, especially if you're a people-pleasing, caretaking type. You are worthy of care. So do that check-in. And oh my goodness, the last 2 weeks, they have been so interesting. Traveling from Lake Superior to the Ozarks of Arkansas with 3 cats. If you're feeling spiritually evolved, if you feel like you got it all together, do a 2-car caravan with 3 cats. Now, I say this with humor, but to some degree, I'm quite serious. Some uncomfortability mixed with unknowns equals growth. Well, I suppose if your intention is growth. Well, I don't know, perhaps either way, but having a growth mindset is where I resonate with nearly with all experiences. I would say all and not nearly all, but I'm sure there are moments that I'm unaware about being unaware, if you're following. For me, the synchronicities, they get loud while I'm traveling. Short or long distances, just traveling in general, they get very loud. So I was really, really stoked for what I would observe this trip. What I was not expecting was the immense amount of discomfort in my body while we stopped and stayed the night in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, no offense to anyone from St. Louis, just my own personal experience. We stayed right downtown in a hotel room near the Gateway Arch. Inside the room felt fine. Super okay. As soon as I would step out, my nervous system, my body, it felt so off. I was so uncomfortable, so disconnected. I was like a balloon, not feeling grounded, not feeling centered. Perhaps maybe a sensory overload. But, the feeling didn't dissipate until we had maybe driven about an hour out the next day. Now, it's not uncommon in the spiritual community to have talk about certain places feeling uncomfortable to a person's nervous system. There is this other place, I can't remember when I was traveling. I was on my way to Kansas, and there was a stretch, I think Iowa or Missouri, I don't know, but same thing. And it wasn't a big city, it was just a stretch of highway, but my nervous system started feeling that same feeling where I almost like had pain within my body and feeling so uncomfortable. So at some point, I'm likely going to get my chart done again using astrocartography to see, how I'm matched to the areas that I'm not feeling good in. If you're not familiar with this tool, it's a pretty cool one to check out. Again, astrocartography, I'll spell it out for you. ASTROCARTOGRAPHY. It's this map of these energetic lines that are pretty specific to our own needs. Regardless if you believe in it or not, if you are down with some astrology to help you out, it's pretty interesting to get it done and then to look at the places, what they suggest, or they invite you to look at and see if it matches up. For me, it's been very interesting and has matched up the last time that I did it. Even if you decide not to do that, if that's not your jam, it's still super important to just check in on your own energy field, observing how you feel in different places or with different people. But when I entered the Ozarks, when I entered into the Ozarks, my body shifted into this. It started to tingle. I was filled with so much joy that I literally burst out into song. The look that my cat gave me was just priceless. A little bit of confusion, but I was so incredibly happy. So to notice our vibration, like how we feel in all environments, is such an important part to the healing, to the expanding journey, because some environments are hard to grow in. I wouldn't say impossible, because I think learning to control the mind, nervous system, we can do wonders. But if we have a choice, living in an environment that assists us, that helps us to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. There was definitely some Bob Marley on this trip. Very beneficial. It helps us feel like we're a room without a roof on it, where the expansion is limitless. So a big download that came in during this trip focused so much on joy, happiness, love. Why is it so important to learn to harness these vibrations? To learn to return to them when we're faced with adversity. Side note here, I'm not meaning that we never feel other emotions. Of course we do. This is a human experience, right? But why work on returning to love, joy, happiness, harmony? Because it's part of the resistance, the revolution, the antidote. Choosing this vibration amongst the suffering is an act of resistance, is an act of gratitude. It shows that love and joy prevails, that's powerful, that it can transform reality. So choosing this vibration amongst the chaos, amongst the suffering, and amongst the others of the world. I had a really great lesson from fire ants shortly after we arrived to Dover, Arkansas, a quaint little town, the gateway of the Ozarks. Now, I had never encountered fire ants before. I knew of their existence, but had never really had a close encounter with them. Okay, so when you step on a fire ant home, which, by the way, it is very easy if you're not familiar. They can be really subtle on the side of a driveway in the grass. When you step on one, the ants, they immediately attack. They not just bite and run off. I mean, they attack and they swarm. So there's many of them. And of course, I was rocking some Birkenstocks, and they bite hard and they don't let go. And when I mean they don't let go, I am quite literally meaning they don't let go. They are very persistent on their attack. You try to swipe them off and they are latched on. It's very difficult to get the mini fire ants off of my foot, off of me, and to get inside. So the lesson, other than being present when you're walking in Arkansas, the lesson was of others. So the fire ants, they see me as an enemy. They didn't see me as just some unexperienced person making a mistake. I was an other. Not like them. I must be the enemy. And we can learn so much from the energy of the fire ant. Sometimes we think that we're defending ourselves, our people, but we can be misunderstanding intentions in a really over the top way. Again, to the fire ants, I was another, them, the enemy. So I really don't want to forget the lesson. And hopefully, there doesn't need to be more pain needed in humanity to understand the wisdom that the fire ants give us. So while it was a very uncomfortable encounter, there was so much to learn. And I feel that we get that in so many different directions if we slow down and we're able to see and we're able to have that growth mindset. Almost, I'm going to say all. When we're present, I'm going to say all situations can be harnessed for growth. This earth school is abundant with amazing ways to learn, and they don't always have to be through suffering. Well, I do think we learn quite quickly. I will not step in that anthill again. Definitely not. So short, but there's going to be more from the Ozarks coming up in following episodes, as well as a little bit of a new turn of diving into transurfing, which I'm super excited to. I've been wanting to get down with that, to understand it more, to take a little bit of a deep dive in it, to wrap my head around it. The theory, the philosophy of transurfing, and to see what, for my own personal growth, what I can take out of it, learn from it. Of course, there's going to be some that I discard, because it's important to, keep an open mind, but also be skeptical of the things that we're taking in, recognizing that we can trust our intuition to what the ultimate truth is. So more coming up from that. And let's do a reading. Let's do a 3-card reading. Okay. Really good cards. First card, ripeness. Oh, I love this card because this card just says, for those of you that are listening right now, is your dreams, the experiences that you want to have, the gifts that you have, is like you're ready. Is being very, very mindful. They're not getting stuck in this loop. The loop is, I will do that when I get to this point. I can't do that now because this point. And I know there's some logistics in this. Like, I understand that, maybe there is something that needs to happen, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's like when we're actually like in the action steps and we're going to complete this and we're going to keep going. This is the loop of, I'm not ready. This is and getting stuck in this uncomfortable space. When you are ready, do the big thing. Start taking steps towards doing the big thing. What's your favorite version of yourself? Take a piece of paper out, write down your favorite version of yourself. Everything, like, right, if you could describe who you would be, who your favorite version of yourself would be, write it all down. And if that's not what's happening right now, start working on creating it. You're ready. Stop waiting. The tree is ripe. Your gifts are ready. Second card, clinging to the past. Yeah, the past is no longer here. It lives within us, of course, in our memories. And of course, a lot of them are fond. But when we cling to it, we can experience a deep sorrow, shame, regret. We can get stuck in the loops of thinking about the past, of who was in the past, and we can really be trading the past in. We can be trading it in for the present. Like we can be, no, opposite. We could be trading the present in for the past. There we go. And so we are basically saying no to the present moment and saying yes to the past, which is very challenging because the only thing that really exists is the present moment. The past isn't here anymore. I'm going to be going on quite the journey of releasing part of my past on this trip, which I'll share in future episodes as it kind of unfolds when I have the capacity to embark on this little journey that I'm going on. Last card, transformation. So showing up for yourself, stepping into your favorite version of yourself, releasing the limits of the past, releasing parts of the past that are holding you down, and then transformation. We learn, we unlearn, we relearn, we do, repeat, we practice, we create, we evolve, we repeat. And then the transformation, there's so much transformation in this earth experience. Sometimes it's hard to see, but if you look back at your 5-year ago self, 10-year ago self, or even, 1 year ago self, you're able to see the shifts. And for those of us that are on this expanding journey, that we live in the spiritual mind, like the transformation can be extreme, sometimes even a month. We can look back at a month ago and say, wow, I have really embarked on a huge transformation since then. I feel for myself personally, coming to Arkansas has been really great. Like it has shown me parts of myself that I really need to work on, and also has shown me things about myself that I really love. And I'm very grateful that I did all the hard work in the past to get to this part of me. So far, this is my favorite version of myself thus far, and continue to hope to build even more favorite versions. And I encourage you to do the same. So here we go. Here we are. We're going to head in to another week. We've got some October energy coming up. I look forward to talking to you hopefully next week. I'm thinking it'll be weekly for a little bit here, not skipping a week. But yes, thank you for taking a little ride with me, for stepping on this bus. You're appreciated.
Thank you for tuning in. We are spiritual beings having a human experience.